Hi everyone, Naveen here. It's been a long time being here on C Sharp events. Uh, Hope you, your family, your friends, everyone is okay and doing fine. So let us pull an interesting person in the chat because I want to have it a conversation rather than just a one-off webinar. So can we pull in the host?
That was pretty quick. Hi, Naveen. How are you doing today?
Yeah, hi, doing great. So
So, quite
let's
an
start
interesting
with
topic, right? Yeah.
I think there are few questions.
Mm-hmm.
Before the questions, let's start this concept. Financial literacy, or we call it, money mindedness. So we often hear in our daily professional life that mind your own business. So ideally, we should mind our own money as well. And when we analyze that our portfolio, that is what I did. It is based on my own learning, and after spending 25 years into IT and mainstream job, I felt out that this is something I my revenue was leaking through different channels, and we will analyze like what are those channels, and everyone then can do their personal research, put up a piece of paper and pen, and then list out what are the monthly expenses which are basically going away and without any returns or any value being added. So this is, knowing this is known as financial literacy. But being a money minded person, it's we are taught since childhood that that's a evil thing, right? There were some stories which used to be told. There was a big old rich man in the village. He was so evil, but rich men are not evil at all time. It's the mind which makes us do evil. But being rich is a good thing. Being money minded means you are aware of your financials. You do not waste money on you know uh, sort of things which you should not do. So this is what this whole education is about, and I have learned it a hard way. We have now an ecosystem of the like-minded people who have done this, who have earned money, who have accumulated the wealth, and now their wealth works itself for themselves, and then they have achieved a very nice concept. For me, it's still a concept. It's called financial freedom. So they have achieved the financial freedom in their lives at the age of 35, 40, 45. Not me, I'm way beyond that, but yes, at least I thought that we could come together and share this common knowledge which was deprived from us. From we were deprived from this knowledge since our education. So this is what. So let's go in a question round session, and then we can start.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. I mean, you covered about how this is money minded
And
is being taken negatively. So let's take a scenario, right? Let's take an example for someone who works in this tech ecosystem, right? How does this principle of financial literacy applies onto them?
okay, so it is very interesting thing. You know that the employers who hire like hundreds, thousands of employees, they do very little to educate their employees to spend their money wisely.
Hmm.
There is no education as such. Although these guys are earning money for the CXO, CSO, or MDs of the companies, they spend year and year in the job. They are earning money for them, but they do not make them financially literate. So, idea behind this knowledge and sharing this wisdom is that one person should be able to uh, chalk out a plan for his own financial wealth accumulation. Must be knowing his own net worth, and then additionally he or she must be able to accumulate wealth, paying off all the debts they have accumulated so far, and uh, march towards the goal of financial freedom.
Hmm.
So basically we do all the mundane jobs, we do all the there's a hypocrisy around all the ecosystem we live in, but we do it because we are told to do so. No one since childhood in our schools, in our whole education system, college, in our jobs, no one taught us. We get to know from our colleagues, yes, someone is investing in stocks. We tend to, okay, he is very nice to us, and he tell us, okay, this is the new, you invest. And people invest in, and they lose money because they themselves had no knowledge about being a stock investor or something. So idea is to invest wisely. There should be some system which is made for beginners, and
Hmm.
I know few of the systems are made for beginners. People can start from there. And definitely we will be taking up questions from the comments as well. If people who are listening and joined us, they have some questions, we can take one or two or five questions depending on the time. So now the idea is, if a person who is there in the job for, say, I can give my example, 25 years, I have accumulated zero wealth,
Stop
my
lying.
home, car, my home, car, everything is on loan, right? It's a bank's
Yeah.
property, it's not
Hmm.
mine.
Yes,
and
that's right.
and as a layman, I used to think that, okay, I will pay this loan in 15 years, 20 years, then this asset will become mine. But there are different kind of assets. If, say, a car will depreciate in its value year on year, right? While the home can accumulate value. So although they both are assets, but they are different type of assets. So it's I will talk only in the beginners or novice language, because that is where I feel I am at. But this is what, so an employee of such a long tenure, first we should know what is my net income. It's not just the salary. You may
Hmm.
be getting something from rent, something from your savings, like you invest and they give you some payout, right? uh, Something from royalty or loyalty. I'll tell you how this can be generated if you don't have that. And then on top of that, we should be knowing about our total net outgoing. So what is my net incoming and total net outgoing? Once we put everything on piece of paper and do the math, whatever is left, that is my net worth. There are other
Hmm.
ways to calculate the net worth, but this is my net worth. So how do I take it up and start building up? So one common misperception about money or wealth is, it appears. It never appears. It accumulates. You have to work on that. So, and at one stage you will reach when your money and assets start earning money for you. For example, you have a home, right? You made a property and it's now free of debt. Once it is free of debt and you put it on the rent, then it will be start generating revenue for you, minus the
Hmm.
maintenance, minus the, if the property is at some deserted location, then people would not be going out there to rent it off. Then what is the other idea you can spin off to use that property wisely? So there are lots of things which can do. I mean, I think this is a series of our chat show, so we'll discuss all these things later. First thing is, what is financial literacy and why it is so
Hmm.
important. It is important because, and net worth, when we calculated net worth, it's just not the money. Your knowledge is also your net worth. So as in my earlier shows, whenever I said that you should at least spend half an hour to 1 hour personal, from your personal spend, time, you should spend on learning new things. Doesn't matter if it's related to your job or not, because you never know after 5 years what type of job you would be doing.
Hmm.
No one can guarantee. And such a situation right now, the technology is evolving every day, um, at the speed of, like, whatsoever was invented in last 100 years was similar to that was invented in last 1 year, right?
Hmm.
So it's the math. So how can we sure of that, what my skills today, whatever my skills are, if I do not sharpen them, if I do not upskill myself and keep the money for my self training, my office will train me for their own purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rarest of rare office would be there who would be preparing for my own skills, my own likings, so that I can generate more income. But what will happen if you yourself work on your net worth, including your knowledge, so that your knowledge will bring in more money? That is what this knowledge is for. So either you take the knowledge, you go to mountains and you take, sannyas and you get the nirvana. But until unless you don't want to do that, you stay in this world, you acquire new piece of knowledge, you build your, skills, and that will ultimately increase your net worth as well. So for employee, it is very important to have this ecosystem build up.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing is getting what is your right worth, current worth, what is your incoming, what is your outgoing means, what are your responsibilities, what are your debts you are paying, and are they adding any value? For example, just one example, okay? I took a loan of 50 lakh rupees at
Wow.
say cumulative interest of 10%, on an average home loan
Mm-hmm.
interest in India, right? So I I I took a loan of 50 lakh rupees. I pay lump sum 15-20 lakh on top of it. So I think this is my home, and it will start accumulating value. But Delhi NCR, it's a
Mm-hmm.
prime, for property. Delhi NCR is the prime location, except Mumbai. So what will happen is, if I took this loan of 50 lakh for 20 years, 20 years, I'll be paying 1 crore to the bank. But my home, which is valued initially at 65 lakh, will it be 1 crore plus
Oh,
my 15 lakh after 20 years? You
I don't
cannot
think
get it.
so. Yeah,
And if this happens to be a flat, an average built life of a flat is 7 to 10 years. The
that's it.
kind of quality material whatsoever, right? And then you will have plumbing coming and electrical issues
Mm.
coming in, then the overall strength of the building goes away. So what will you do? This is not an asset you built. So this is
Mm-hmm.
an eye opener, and it was an eye opener for me when someone, just did this math in front of me. Similarly, I bought a car, and I think that car is, it's good asset for me. I am going here and there places, okay. But the only thing is, car is a revenue leakage for me. I am paying in maintenance, I'm paying in tires, I am paying in vehicle petrol, I'm paying in certification like pollution certificate,
Insurance.
all that, right? Then insurance. So it's a total revenue leakage. So
Mm-hmm.
once we did the math that a company lease car, you get, if you get an ample tax benefit, you should do apple to apple comparison whether a company lease car makes any uh, it suits your financial needs and your personal needs, or is it good to buy your car yourself, or you buy a second hand car, just 3 4 5 year older working car, and that will be more beneficial, because even your new car will get ugly very next day if you happen to be in the sandstorm.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's just the emotional attachment to the things which are we are being told, that we have seen since childhood and specific to India. Now, how do we come over it? Until unless we start calculating, or someone just shakes us up and tells us the truth, bitter truth behind it, no one will come to educate us. No one. It is onus on us. We have to educate ourselves. And we should start educating our kids from this day onwards, because this is the only meaningful education. It's okay, math, science, whatsoever they learn in school. except manners which they learn from home first.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only meaningful education they would have. If they know their money, if they know how to accumulate wealth, what else is remaining? Because they will not be dying in vain and working 8 to 12 or 16-hour shifts in offices. I'm not saying doing job is bad, but not having this awareness is bad.
Mm-hmm.
If you doing 12-hour shift, 18-hour shift, it's good, but what is the value you are getting in return? Are you working on at cost of your mental peace, your health? So it is our own decision. We have to do this math and then find out.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, these are very interesting topics, and you got a lot of important points over there. So let me ask you this. All this sounds very fascinating, right? So how does someone start learning all these concepts? I know that we have this series going on, so that is one way to learn. How do you think anyone should start learning these
Correct.
concepts?
So there are different avenue of learning this, acquiring this knowledge. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, there is no financial curriculum to teach this very specifically, but there are lots of blogs, lots of movies, even Netflix has lots of series. For example, you watch a movie, The Pursuit of Happiness.
No, I'm not saying.
In
Yeah.
in in yeah, it's a very very nice movie. Will Smith was the main actor, and
Okay,
he
that's nice.
he was jobless, and he acquired new skills to get this job, and he gets the job of a top share stockbroker, right? So I think it the movie communicates a message to us, and in that movie, Will Smith tells his small son that no one let to dictate you or put a mandate on you that you cannot do this thing. You are owner of your own destiny. You can do whatsoever you want, but the only thing is you need to know the methods how to do that. And to know the methods, we go to coaches, we go to mentors, we go to different websites or blogs. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
plethora of information available. Only thing is, if you want to start from basic, first write down all your expenses and all your savings on monthly basis. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then calculate what is earning, and then you limit the expenses. How do you limit the expenses? Is putting a value in. For example, I at home I have a Netflix subscription, I have a Disney subscription, and then I was thinking of, because I watch lots of YouTube videos on this training and all that, so I thought better get a YouTube subscription. But then
Wow.
I analyzed in last 4 months we watched Disney only twice.
Wow.
So even though it's some 7 or 8 dollars per month, but it's a leakage, right?
Yeah.
So one by one, if you cover it, for example, if Netflix, Disney, and then one more, if I combine this, it will bring me 5G network, 500 Mbps internet line at my home, and then I can stream it live on my TV through internet, free of cost, and I can watch, and I can do these webinars very seamlessly. So I think we have to put a value figure to each spend we do and each investment we do. Generally in India, there's we follow each other, like, because we have to save that 1.5 lakh every day, every year, right?
Yeah. Every
To
year.
save
Yeah.
the taxes. But
You're right.
but what taxes? Why do you know that if you take education loan, that is again give you tax benefit? right? There
Hmm.
are some medical claims that give you tax benefit. All your expenses, medical expenses, give you tax benefit. All your home loan interest you pay on the home loan give you tax benefit. Even the EMI before loan is started, something, some calculation is
Hmm.
that give you tax benefit. So, and there are lots and lots tax benefits, but only thing is we don't know. And
Yep.
while we fill the same form, that is ITR 1, Saral 16, right? That
Yeah.
when we fill that form, number of line items mentioned in that form, they are all tax benefits. So once we go through one by one, we get to know, okay, why don't I use this? Why not? So something like that. And then learning opportunity. So that's a one learning, right? Being
Yeah.
presented whenever you are doing financial things, being present there. Then second thing is watch YouTube videos. There is a guy called Money Mustache, right? He basically is plans your financial freedom. He calculates your age. He calculates basically all this stuff which I'm telling you to do. Calculate all the expenses, all the savings, all the income, and calculate your net worth and where you want to be when you want to retire, how much money you want to be. And the only thing is how much money you want to carry. It's a figure which will include your health, your
Hmm.
dream destinations, your yacht, your African
You bet.
safari, and whatsoever. So only thing is in India we have to plan a lot, right? We have to
Yeah.
plan our child's weddings, but outside it's not the case. They
Yeah.
go and they marry.
We parents
Yeah,
spoon feed here in India,
yeah,
right?
they
They
can
take
do
care
I
of
do
everything.
anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So idea is let's do not leave any opportunity to learn about this, but it starts from I, and I means I of initiative. Just
Hmm.
start taking note of all your expenses you do from today. It will come handy and it will become beneficial in the long run because you know your expenses. And
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
what that is when you become, money minded. It stays in an active box in your mind that I have to control my money. And now people take this money mindedness in a very negative way.
They
People
do.
think that the person who has money or who got it inherited or you earned it or accumulated wealth by XYZ means they are mean, right? But they are not mean. They don't want to spend their money just blindly like we do.
Yeah.
I will throw if back in India we know that when we used to go in a cab, so friend would ask, okay, why don't you throw a party today? And every week almost I'll be shelling out like 1,000 rupees or something. So it gives you satisfaction, the friendliness.
Yeah.
So that is what you buy from money. So you have to be a good judge where you want to spend, where you want to restrict your hand.
Yeah.
So I think there are ample opportunities to learn. Follow the coaches, follow websites, follow blogs, follow videos, and
Hmm.
then whatsoever when you fill financial forms like tax saving, I said tax return form, write down, read all the line items and read what benefit it brings me.
Perfect, Naveen. So I think we are running a little over time now. We just about 5 minutes, and I'm going to ask you
Yeah.
two quick questions. I'm going to give you a minute and a half for each of the questions. You see, knowing is good, but seeing is believing, right? How soon can one generate the evidence that this is indeed a good part of education, which was actually missed in the first place?
Okay. Yeah. So it's very interesting question, and to watch the evidence whenever we do the second webinar. So
Hmm.
audience is here. I just want to capture their spending and capture their outgoing,
I've
and
done it.
they will find two, at least two spending mechanisms which are not necessary at all. That will be the
Right.
evidence.
I bet you. I mean, I use Notion to take care of all my expenses, right? And I end up spending like almost 80% of what I earn, and a lot of it goes in Zomato orders.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
So
Just the way you
yeah,
said party, right?
correct. And there is
Okay.
a comment called spending on feelings versus investing based on values. Basically, spending on values and
Mhm.
investing based on intelligence. So there
Wow,
should
that's
be
a good
no
answer.
feelings when it comes to money. Otherwise, you will lose money, nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, the final question that I have for you, Naveen, is it is a question probably related to being rich, right? And what is actually net worth? You have been talking about from the very beginning of the show. You should know your net worth, right? So, what is
Correct.
actually net worth, and how can one actually calculate it?
Correct. So net worth, it's a very simple formula.
Okay.
You list down all your savings. It's mutual funds, it's stock shares, it's your I'll say savings, and then your income from salary, from if you have taken money back, guaranteed some
Mm-hmm.
insurances like that, they give you money back. Rental income is your earning, right? But so put everything in order and then minus the spend. That is your net worth. But these is how the financial people calculate. But knowledge in IT industry is a big net worth, piece of net worth
Mm-hmm.
as well. So even if you are planning to put your money in place, want to accumulate wealth, but what do you spend on yourself? You never know that next year you become obsolete from the market because you are carrying a skill which is no more existent.
Yeah, it happens.
So at least 10% of your salary should go to your career development.
10%. Wow,
Yes, that is how the big guys do, but we can start from 1%.
that's good.
So for
Yeah.
example, a person who is earning 1 lakh rupees a month
Mm-hmm.
should spend 1,000 rupees per month on his
Mm-hmm.
career development.
I'll
Again, this
take a
is
note
very
of that.
forgotten
That's a
part
very
of.
good. That's a very good feedback.
Yeah,
I mean, suggestion, right? At least start with 1%, 1,000 rupees a month, and buy a
correct.
book or maybe Udemy course or whatever, right?
Anything,
But invest.
anything,
Yeah.
anything. And when you do it, when you subscribe to this, like
Mm-hmm.
you join some course, and then because you know that you are
Mm-hmm.
spending money on it, you will read and you will study seriously.
Yeah.
And that is
So
why
that's good.
these guys, big guys, programs, they sell the ticket for their webinars and all, and $1,000 per webinar or something like that. That is the
Yeah.
only reason. So first thing is to
Mhm.
motivate you to learn whatever they are sharing.
That's good. I'm gonna do that. I'm definitely gonna spend 1,000 rupees every month. It is January, it is New Year anyway, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
start and see halfway down the year how
correct.
things go. So, Naveen, it's about time that we wrap up the show. It was the very first episode. Any final thoughts that you have, and anything you want to share about the upcoming episodes for people who have tuned
Yep.
in, so they would like to
So
come back.
correct. So it's a series, guys. So we will keep talking about building a wealth, uh, and this is specifically for tech employees like me,
Mm-hmm.
which because I had zero knowledge about this, and I acquired this knowledge from the group of friends, learning and all that stuff. So I will bring up to my level to you, and then you can take your own course of action and move forward steadily. So first thing is, this is the financial awareness program. Second,
Mm-hmm.
in coming series, we'll also talk about what is moonlighting, right? Why moonlighting is bad.
Yeah.
Another controversial topic, and how come moonlighting contributes to your net worth. Okay, so again, moonlighting is a abuse word right now, but the moonlighting doesn't mean that you are working in competition with your existing employer. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we'll give more thought to it when we come up with the next session, but it would be moonlighting and side hustles. What are the side hustles you can do to generate more wealth, or rather income?
All right. I mean, that was
Yep.
absolutely great. So, a quick reminder to everyone, this is episode one. All the videos will be available on C Sharp Corner YouTube and C Sharp Corner website. And for every episode, you actually have to register just in case if you forget it. After you register, we send you a reminder email every time. Quite a few folks registered for this event. So, follow Naveen on social media platforms and also C Sharp Corner to know when is the second episode coming. And with that, Naveen, I think it's time.
There's a question from
Oh,
Ravindra.
what is
How
it?
to? how to, yeah, okay.
How to choose appropriate learning source? Well, you said it. This is a learning resource. You have chosen a learning resource today anyway
Yeah,
by
yeah.
joining this live
This
stream.
is a learning resource, right?
Yeah.
Accurately, and we will give you notes. We will give you
Hmm.
all the list of other resources, and there would be some books I'll be sharing with the audience as well, free of cost, obviously. So it's C
Hmm.
Sharp Corner. We do it free.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much, Raveen.
Thank
Naveen,
you.
have a
Nice
nice day
day.
ahead and see you soon. Ta-ra. Bye bye.